And welcome back to another episode of Venus Day Q&A. This is episode number 11. We have a special guest today. It's your host with the most, Mr. Mark David Meyer, with the fire, here to share ideas and take the collective vibration higher. Mark David Meyer on all platforms, markdavidmeyer.com. And who is this?
Sophie, my name is Sophia,
Right.
and do you want me to take this paper?
Yeah, go ahead. And where can they find you?
Sophia Celine Crystals on IG, and then SophiaCelineCrystals.com
That's what's up.
for the crystals and the crystal jewelry.
Absolutely. The hostess with the mostest. So we have a very special video planned for you guys, and pardon us if we're having a hard time looking at the lens because you'd be surprised if you saw the setup. But we're doing it live today, and we've got a very special video planned for you guys. Basically, the rundown is we're going to cover the questions very soon, and we've got some very interesting questions. You guys are going to love this one. If you enjoy this video at any point, please leave a like or feel free to share. We're going to talk about the energies of the moment, the astrology, what's going on with Venus. And before we get into that, we are going to go through some special, very special announcements. So, long awaited, long overdue. You guys have been asking your asses off, and it's finally here. Simplified Magick is ready for those who are ready to take their practice to a new level. So if you guys are interested, the link is in the bio. Feel free to join the pre-order. On the new moon in Cancer, July 5th, we're going to launch and we're going to get to the great work. So I strongly encourage you, truly encourage you to join now for a major discount. The work is priceless. The knowledge is priceless. You're not going to want to miss this, guys. Apart from that, it's business as usual on this end, but you guys are going to want to get into the magic. So that's what's going on with me. Sophia is working her ass off. So Sophia Celine Crystals has a couple events this month, and I'm going to let her tell you about it.
So if you're in Milwaukee, I'm gonna do the 414 that's at the Zocalo park. So there's like a bar there, and then we're gonna be outside vending our crafts, and there's gonna be.
What's the date that?
That's June 16th.
Okay.
And then June 30th, we're gonna do we out here at the Dresden Castle, which is organized by
Exciting.
Tres Ojos.
You should see both of us there.
Be Betty
Yeah.
Studios. Yeah,
Let's
we'll
go.
both be there.
Absolutely.
Helping me out.
It's going to be so good. So you can find them at What the Hex on Instagram. Is that right?
What the Hex MKE on Instagram. And there's
Yeah.
gonna be a whole list of vendors that are awesome people.
Yeah, so the time slot should be listed on there as well. It's a pretty long event too, so you'll have time to mix and mingle and meet with other people. So that's cool. Do you know where they can find info on the other market?
On the other market, 414 Flea
On Instagram?
on Instagram.
Okay, cool.
That's what it is.
Exciting. Well, right on. Yeah, so we got some special things in the works. Life is beautiful. I hope you guys are having at least half as good of a time as we are, because we are living it up over here. So we're about to share the screen. We're going to talk about the astrology. We also have various different cards, and the intention is to speak to your heart. So let's screen share the chart so you guys can see what's going on with the astrology, and let's break it down. So the big theme is the new moon, new beginnings. If you're watching this right now, the sun is in Gemini, the moon is in Cancer. So we just started a new cycle, and Sophia and I have been cooking. So I just recommend to everybody here, set new goals. It's a very new beginning. And if you're not excited to live your life, if you aren't full of fire and passion the moment you wake up in the morning, that's probably because you lost sight of your vision, your purpose, and your why. So I encourage you to set high goals and don't think about the how. Commit now and get it done. And review these goals every single day, guys. And I just want to say it's worth the reminder that by definition, most of us, all of us, truly contain some average within us because we're just part of the world. And my point is this, guys. You don't have to set goals to live an average life. That's what you get already. So set your goals higher than you think you want. Is it possible your potential is more than you realize? The answer is yes, okay? So I hope that resonates with somebody. This is the chart of the day. It's beautiful. So we aren't actually in St. Louis right now, but we have the St. Louis chart and we've got Venus conjunct the sun. Do you want to add anything to the new moon? How are you feeling about that, baby?
About the new moon?
Yeah. Anything else? I mean, that was decent, but I want to hear what are you thinking about?
I'm feeling really good about it. I do always feel the new moons pretty intensely, making way for new energy and recalibrating maybe some old goals that you might have had
I love that.
and expanding them.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't hit your goals right off the rip, don't give up. Just keep pushing. Like she was saying that, this may be a time for a clean new slate, but it also could be time for you to review the things that you knew you wanted before. Failure is inevitable, guys. It's part of the process. And a lot of us are reluctant to set super high goals because we want to play it safe and conservative. But trust me, guys, it's way better to come up short on the big goal as opposed to hit a subpar target and not even be fulfilled. Damn. So if you meet resistance, if you meet adversity, let that be a good sign and keep pushing, okay? This is new energy. It's very exciting. So I also wanted to say, with this being Gemini, we're going to talk about this at length over the course of the month. And you can even review the podcast in the past to see kind of how this energy plays out. But Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which governs our technology. And there is a whole Gemini stellium sitting here in this chart, guys. So my best practical advice for everybody here is to organize your damn phone. Like delete apps, delete calendar events, and reset your calendar. Organize your time, organize your mind, and organize your environment, because everything is energy. So if the environment is needlessly restricted and your phone is too, and it's all cluttered, chances are your mind is going to be cluttered as fuck. And that's just unneeded resistance. You hear me? So, like we said, 52 weeks of Mars Day with Mark. If you guys want to get the drop on the whole astrology of the week, definitely check it out. The video will be linked in the description. But the real important thing to note about this cycle, guys, is that as we begin this new moon cycle, the the sun is conjunct to Venus. So our new moon is conjunct to Venus. And also we have Saturn in the sign of Pisces, making a nice square, a nice 90-degree angle right there, okay? So what the hell does that mean? You guys should already know, man. Venus Day Q&A is all about love. It's all about connection. It's all about blessings. So that's truly the theme of this month, is to live a good life, live your best life. Like, the most beautiful thing about this study is astrology is a language in itself. So when you translate the archetypes well enough, they'll read into your mind as English or Spanish or French or whatever language you actually speak. And what is the sun? Life. What is Venus? Good stuff, being filled, receiving. So the true message for the whole theme of the month, and this could be the theme of your life, live your fucking life to the fullest, my friends. That's as far as it goes. How do you feel about the Sun Venus conjunction, baby? What does that give you?
Oh, that's so beautiful. I feel like
It is.
like you were saying, like,
Let's make it pink. Yeah.
so Venus is the good stuff, and with the Sun conjunct Venus, I feel like bold courageous action is like required for you to have the good things that you deserve in your life. And
Well put.
like you were saying, like, we all deserve an extraordinary life. If you want to put in for it, you'll have it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I feel like that's what that is, like loving yourself so much that you do put in that.
Yeah. Yes, baby. Yeah, that inspires me. I really value that. Yeah, well put. And back to archetypes. Yeah, what she said, first of all. But back to archetypes, sun is the self, sun is the energy, it's life itself. And Venus is got a whole lot of significations, but beyond the love and the connection, this would really reflect beauty. So beyond definitive, bold actions, which are required to live your life to the fullest, this actually begs us, asks us, implores us, beckons us to appreciate life, appreciate ourselves, and really recognize the beauty. And I think that's amazing. So while it's amazing to be partnered with the right person and experience romance, I think a real theme of the Sun Venus conjunction is self-love, loving and appreciating yourself. And this is a spiraling path, it's an ongoing mission. And what I mean is that, is it really possible to subsist on yesterday's self-love? I contend it isn't. So every day we're going to show up and love ourselves, and life will get better, brighter, more beautiful the longer we live it. And that's the gift here, okay? Because while the love of someone else can't substitute your self-love, it's important to note that your self-love can't always substitute the love for somebody else. We do need people. We are social creatures. If that wasn't true, solitary confinement wouldn't be the worst punishment for people beyond like death. I mean, death isn't a punishment for some, but I digress. But shit got dark out of nowhere. I damn near fell off the train rails. Jump into the 12th house. We're gonna come back to the point. If you're really looking for a powerful partnership, which is what Venus Sun suggests, one that's going to be fulfilling, one that's going to be beautiful, that one that's going to really suit and meet your own needs, it's very important, like Sophie was saying, to take bold, inspired, definitive actions and provide yourself the things that you need. This is not the time to look outside of yourself for things that you can provide yourself. Because by definition, something you need that you have the ability to provide would be called a responsibility. And responsibility is the meaning of life. If you abdicate that power to other people, you might feel like a victim to your circumstance, or you may start to project your power onto other people and then kind of feel like other people don't love you, or that you're not deserving, or those unacknowledged paradigms may confront you externally in a way that's kind of painful. So that's definitely something to think about. I hope you guys are getting the vision that I'm sending your way. What do you think about that, baby?
Yes. To what you said. But
Yeah.
and then like on the other, I guess, side of the spectrum, I'm thinking like within the seventh house and everything, looking to other people, not abdicating your power, but like more collaborating, and if not collaborating, just like letting your loved ones know what you're up to, receive support, and
Tend to your relationships.
yeah, for sure, give each other support, and like I said, collaborate, reciprocate. It's beautiful. Like you're more supportive than you think you are usually. So
Amen. Absolutely. We have to show up for ourselves every day. We have to be willing to do the work for ourselves, but it's really important to, like Sophie said, look out for those that you love and those that you care about, and recognize that love is around you. And this Saturn square is kind of cold and dry, guys. And tomorrow, the square for the sun, I'm sorry, tomorrow, the square with Venus will be perfect. 2 days after that, on Sunday, the square with Saturn is going to be perfect as well. So I just want to say, guys, this is a fun energy with the Sun Venus, but it is quite serious with Saturn up in the mix. And it's just important that we're real with ourselves, that we're honest with ourselves and with others as well, so that we can actually get what we need and build with each other and have reciprocity. And another thing about Saturn is that, this is the planet of sovereignty and self-mastery and building and time and karma and all types of other serious shit. So what I see with a lot of people in the collective, and, take it from two people with strong Saturn aspects, this may prompt us to value our alone time or our time by ourselves more than our connection with other people. And there's nothing wrong with that in and of itself, to really want to be alone, to want to be by yourself. And when it comes back to love and romance or even friendship, if you can't enjoy your own company, it's going to be pretty difficult to fully enjoy someone else's. And when it comes to that power couple, that divine union that a lot of people are really truly seeking in their lives, just know that if you can't be the end all be all person for yourself, it's damn near unlikely that you're going to find that in somebody else. And that's just the message, guys. So we're gonna do a little bit of a card reading and see what's going on inside of the energies. We could talk about this endlessly. I think that's all the aspects to Venus. Venus is going parallel the sun. I mean, and that's basically the same as a conjunction. It's not the same, but it's similar. So we don't really have to go too deep into that. And just understand that this chart is local geography. So you will need to look at your own houses. It just so happened to be in the seventh house this time. So Venus and the sun are in Gemini. So one thing I also want to add to this conversation we're having is that this really helps us love ourselves, know ourselves, and relate to others through the sign of Gemini. And I'm going to take one step off of that thought and we'll circle back to it because this is a louder thought, higher amplitude. Gang, Venus sun conjunction is the glow up. So this month, let this be the start of a new you, happier, healthier, brighter, sexier version of yourself. Give yourself permission to indulge everything in moderation. And once again, guys, the value here, the Venus here, is responsibility, Saturn. So the gifts, guys, is finding freedom, success, prosperity, and love through what? Responsibility, aka honesty, aka truth, and definitive actions. So let's fucking go, guys. This shit is so good. And if you don't have goals, man, you didn't hear a word we just fucking said. All right. So let's pull some cards. Let's see what it's given. And ooh, Gemini. Before the cards, let me circle back to the Gemini thought, then the cards. So Gemini is what? It's mutable air. It's the first dual sign. It's the twins. It's Mercury. So when it comes to life right now, with yourself or other people, communication is key. Conversations are key. And if you really zoom out on the frame of your life, guys, it's really just one long series of conversation after conversation. And those are really where the meaningful changes happen, our interactions with people. Because think about it this way, guys, like using the chart, for example, here you are in the first house, and here's the world in the seventh house. So all you have in your life is you, your own feelings, thoughts, experiences, etc. But when you truly connect with somebody else, you open yourself into a whole new world. And then you start to share, you start to step in the eighth house, and you can meet their feelings, their thoughts, their emotions, their paradigms, their hopes, their wishes and dreams. And the crazy thing about the eighth house is this is the shit beyond our control. So Venus is a very beautiful planet. She rules Taurus. She helps us find our needs. She rules Libra. She helps us relate to others. But Venus has a challenging time, guys, in the signs of Virgo and Scorpio, and also Aries. Because Venus is exalted in Pisces, is what that means. I'm sorry to jump around, but that means, Venus is also very loving and connective and spiritual on some level. And the ways that it's going to struggle, let's cover the debilitations. You've got the Virgo, the sixth house energy, which says that, Venus loves growth. She values things that are practical, but sometimes the devil is in the details as well as the beauty, in meaning that we can be overcritical with ourselves or overcritical to other people. And sometimes it can be kind of hard to accept others for who they are because sometimes we don't fully accept ourselves for being a certain way. And you'll notice that, guys, the things that you judge in other people is the shit that you have yet to accept within yourself. All right. And also, let's flip it to a more positive thing. Recognize and know and understand that the things that you love about other people are the things that you love about yourself. And that's how I fucking found Sophie. Trust me, guys. I really took the time, and I'm sure she did the same thing. Really take the time to figure out, what do you value? How do you want to be loved? What can you not stand? And start to work with that thing. So what do you think, baby?
Yeah, just about what you said, baby.
Yeah. Can you concur? Do you?
I do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like it took a lot of like lessons and obviously experiences to like really refine. And like it took me like going through things and saying like absolutely not like any more of this, and
Yeah,
kind of
drawing the
flipping
line.
it. And
Boundaries are so key.
yeah,
Mhm.
and like you said, just pouring into myself. And
Absolutely.
exactly,
That's well put and powerful.
started
Yeah.
talking.
And
And I saw it in you too, like that you were putting into yourself. And
Mhm. And that's why we attract each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's well put. It makes sense. And it's kind of funny because we have our composite Venus in the sign of Virgo too. So, the way that we love each other is really about service and health and embracing each other. And the way that plays out with two people devoted to self growth and self development is that we help each other criticize ourselves less and be more
It did
accepting
work
and
out
loving.
that way.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I like
Yeah.
it.
And it's amazing too, because I mean, we should have literally just loaded up the composite chart. Damn. The
Mhm.
sun is conjunct Venus in the composite too. So it's like, this is an energy we deal with every day in a relationship is sun conjunct Venus, just abundant self-love. This is the best relationship I've ever been in the last one I will be in. So it's great. And speaking of rulership, et cetera, give you a better picture on Venus, just understand that, she exalts in Pisces, opposite Virgo. So the highest use of her love is transcendence, or the highest use of her energy is transcendence, to be able to really dissolve the boundaries between oneself and others. And that's kind of why she has a difficult time in Aries. Libra is where she'd like to be, seventh house energy, connecting, relating, balancing, being fair. But then Venus and Aries is more so about self-indulgence. And there's nothing wrong in and of itself, but that can say that compromise can sometimes be hard in that energy. So just recognize love is about compromise. Love is not about competition. If you think love is about competition, even on an unconscious level, you're going to get really frustrated with your partner and yourself, man. And that's definitely something to think about. So the last thing I want to highlight for y'all is that with her ruling Taurus and helping us find out what we actually need and truly discern our values in this life, she's going to have a harder time in Scorpio or the eighth house. And you live Venus Scorpio every day, you know, and you make it look beautiful. And it is a really beautiful thing, man, because Venus and Scorpio people, they love with power and they love very intentionally and deeply. And this could also speak to having a love about transformation as well. Before I continue yapping, maybe like, what is it like having Venus in the sign of Scorpio?
I do feel all those like things they say about the archetype, um, like competitiveness, that like manipulation they always talk about with love, but I'm so aware of it, and I'm like, I've acted those things out in the past that I know, and like at a very early age that I like recognize what the consequences were because of those feelings and actions. So I know I don't want to live my life that way, and I want to, like you said, like transmute that instead, and
Absolutely.
it ends up working out
That's powerful.
beautifully.
Yeah, I love that. And this, I mean, and it's amazing to see you as a testimony to transformation and purpose is power. So when I explain that energy to a lot of people, I just really say the most difficult and beautiful thing about this is that love and power can get confused,
Mhm.
and love is powerful. And if we don't trust ourselves, it's impossible to trust somebody else, truly. Because at the end of the day, love and control don't mix. And that's the key for Venus Scorpio, or just understanding Venus's energy in general, because this is really not so much about the placements of Venus. It's more about the archetype, truly understanding how she works, paying attention to it, like sun energy, sun Venus. Know and understand and feel the Venus energy in your life. And trust issues, man. These are something that need to be confronted if you really want to be loved unconditionally and supported by somebody else. Learn to trust yourself, because if we don't trust ourselves, if we don't love ourselves fully, and we choose to be in a relationship, that's when you'll start to see the shadow sides of Venus, like possession or manipulation or control or just an abundance of fear, which is not love. And this will manifest as lies or manipulation or power play and shit like that. And then unfortunately for a lot of people, abuse. So let's not fucking do that. Let's transcend that. And we're gonna get in the reading pretty soon, but I just want to say that the sweetness card is on the top of the deck, the confidence card comes on the bottom. And what that message really strikes me as is that you'd be surprised how great you glow when you're loved properly, when you're taken care of, when you support yourself, when you meet your own needs, and also open yourself up to powerful relationships. You'd be very surprised, or maybe not so surprised. It would make sense that you'd be a much happier, healthier, stronger person because of it. So that's really beautiful. And I hope you guys are appreciating the beauty that you are, the beauty that all of life is, and the beauty that these other people are. All right, guys. And just remember that once again, the things you can't accept in other people are the things that you cannot accept within yourself. So, can we transcend the illusions this month? Yes, we fucking can. So, without further ado, I think it is time. Unless you have questions or comments, maybe we might just jump into the reading. We'll pull some cards and then we can do the questions. You feel like that's a good picture of Venus?
Yeah.
We got the creativity card coming out as well. And that's really Sun Venus energy. And when it comes to this conversation we're having, guys, it's just important to note that, if you have a desire to live your life to the fullest, that means that you want everything you can get, man. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people would criticize you or judge you for that. Fuck no. I think that's awesome. I think that's beautiful. I think that's admirable. But what I take from this card, guys, is that it's totally possible to have needs that can only be fulfilled by the self. We can surely create with other people, but this is just talking about if you don't create something, if you don't have a form of self-expression, it's impossible to be seen as a creator. And this is Leo energy. I'm a Leo. She's a fifth house Pluto. So in order to really feel special and significant on the deepest level, you have to have a form of self-expression. And that's as far as it goes, guys. So I hope that uplifts somebody. Let this month be about growth and removing disruptions. So let's pull some cards. We're going to do a little shuffle action. We'll see what the cards are given. So sit back and relax, and we're going to move to the next part of the show. And then we're going to jump into questions right after that. Okay, guys? So hope you guys are enjoying Venus Day Q&A number 11. Yeah. So the first card out the Oracle is Fear. Do you want to do like a 3 card on yours, baby? And I'll do a 3 card and see what it gives.
Sure.
Yeah, we got the Fear card. I'm going to pull one more Oracle. So we got the Fear card coming out first. Let me actually stop the screen share so we can be seen a little bit better. Not a new share, but yeah, stop the share. Boom. Yeah, much better. Amazing. So fear and love can be considered antithetical in a lot of realms. I don't want to oversimplify this shit and say that they're always polar opposites, but you may see them run directly opposite a lot of times. And then we've got caution in reverse. So that looks like trust to me. So how do we push past fear and trust? That's a very good question that I have for y'all, that we have for you before we get into the questions that we're going to ask each other and see what's going on. It says that this month, this week, today even, it's about overcoming fear with love. And that's a beautiful message. That's a beautiful gift, guys. Love is a powerful energy. We can do a whole lot with it. We got some fire questions lined up too, so I'm very excited because Spirit is orchestrating this video for us.
I just opened it, but I'm like, I really need to.
Yes, a new deck. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'll see what it's given. I may beat you to it. And then you can send us off. That'd be great. And I want to remind you guys, it's worth noting that a great relationship is built on 3 things. And what are the 3 things, you might ask? I'm so glad you asked. That's a similar mission. Number 1, you need to be willing to go where someone else is going. And I'm not asking you to change your direction. You should be fully committed to your purpose. And you should seek somebody who has the same purpose. You shouldn't try to bend yourself or bend somebody else so you can have congruence. Not a good idea. So number 1 is similar mission or vision. Number 2, similar values. And that means you appreciate the same things. And that would also say that you would learn, you adapt, you grow the same way. All right. If you don't have the same values, you will inevitably grow apart. And number 3, similar interests. In other words, can you enjoy each other's time and company? Do you even like the same stuff? You don't have to like everything. Like she doesn't like red velvet, but I fucks with it, And there's no issue. She doesn't have to eat it. I eat it, Things like that. So what are the three things, guys? Similar what? Shared what? Similar what? That's right. Vision, values, interests. Don't ever forget it. Then you can grow together forever. In a real beautiful spiritual relationship, you'll experience yourself falling in love over and over and over again with this person, day in and day out. Ooh,
That's pretty.
that is really beautiful. What's that mean, baby?
Like pour in, well, first pour it into yourself so that you can pour out
Mm-hmm.
into the world, your relationships, and asking yourself, like, what are you giving to the community and the world and
I like that.
yourself?
I really like that. Yeah. That's Aquarius energy, guys. So this really has everything to do with who you are as an individual and what that means for the rest of the world. That's important to recognize as we go forward. Ooh, baby. Wow. Yeah, she's got the three. She's gonna read it out for you. This is awesome.
Ace of Swords and Nine of Wands. This is cool because they're like, it looks like the same person.
Yeah, it does.
Kind of looks like the same.
Yeah, they do. I
actually.
think it is the same person. I can hold it closer. Yeah, so it's Star, Ace of Swords, and then the Nine of Wands in that order. That's our 3-card pull.
I love that.
So what's that say,
I feel
baby?
like that. I feel like that says spending time with yourself, and realizing that you're limitless. Like you have unlimited potential mentally, and I feel like we come to that realization with the solitude and spending time with our own energy, our own magic.
I love that. And what I want to add on top of that, because that's brilliant and beautiful, the Ace of Swords to me really speaks about truth to me. Honesty. It's the first card in the suit of air, which is all about connection, communication, more specifically. So I find that if you were to read this out like a story, by truly knowing who you are, you can be honest with yourself, see what you really need. And what I take from this Nine of Wands on top of this as a story is that there's things that you can provide for yourself, there's things that you can't. There might be limits that you abide by or certain things that you want, like boundaries. In this, I'm not too sure what this deck is called. It's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Figuratively speaking is what this deck is called.
Milwaukee artist.
From a Milwaukee artist. That's beautiful. Didn't they vend it? They were at Dresden Castle last time.
Yeah,
so
that's where I got it.
Yeah, so you might be able to see them on the 30th at We Out Here as well.
I think it's Big Little Husband, something like that.
Yeah.
Is her Instagram, but
Big Little Husband.
Figuratively speaking, tarot is her deck.
It's beautiful. The back of the cards are amazing too. So in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, you'll see the Nine of Wands look like a person standing in between 8 wands and they're holding their one staff and they're bandaged on the face and they look fucking over it. And that feels like being through the journey or want to throw in the towel sometimes, even just being at your end. And
I feel like that goes with your reading too. You got creativity. I feel like you gotta get creative when that happens with yourself.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah, 100%. So it's like I take from this conversation, the Star, Ace of Swords, Nine of Wands, that we have to be persistent. We have to be committed to serving our needs, even when the going gets tough. Got to ride for yourself before you try to ride for anybody else. And that's the bottom line. And
she put the universe in here.
That's so beautiful. Oh, I love that. Love is supposed to soften you up, guys. So I think that's another part of that conversation as well. That it should be a force that gives you more strength and can kind of provide you more security when you hit your limits as well. Okay. Is there anything else you want to add on those cards, maybe? That looks really cool.
I know. I love
this. Is the Tower card. It's made out of Legos. That's so cool. King of Cups. He's Nike.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, that's the Knight of Cups. Yeah, those cards hit, baby. I'm gonna see what my third one is, and then we'll start reading it out. I'm looking at the third card. I think this is it. Okay, yeah. So let's go. So yeah, this is some real shit. Okay. So how do we conquer fear? How do we create trust? How do we form more love? The Justice card. This is the first card on my end. And this is the sign of Libra, which is about relationships and balance. But seeking reciprocity is the key, guys, to know that you get what you give. And if you're giving and not getting, there's probably a discrepancy in boundaries or values. It's this deep sometimes, man, but some people lose in their own fantasies because they don't want to win. And if that's you, that's a conversation with yourself that needs to be had. But also another part of this is just that if you don't like getting the short stick, if you don't like being subordinated or drained by other people, and you're still finding yourself drained or people not reciprocating, that's going to say that what needs to happen is boundaries, communication, laying out your expectations. And just understand boundaries are for both people, but they're really for you, man. And if you have to sit there and beg somebody to honor your boundaries, chances are you don't really understand what a boundary is. When a boundary is violated, you remove yourself from a circumstance, okay? And that loss is the repercussion someone bears for violating your boundary. And that's hard sometimes, man, with empathy and compassion, because people may take interest in us, like us. They might be good, kind-hearted people just making mistakes sometimes, but you got to love yourself enough to walk away, man. And relationships as well as business are quite similar in the sense that you don't fucking get what you deserve, guys. And hear me out. You get what you negotiate. You get what you ask for. You get what you communicate and what other people are willing to give. And you're not able to negotiate if you're unwilling to walk away. So that's something definitely to think about. And this is the second card. The Hermit card in reverse, guys. And this is Virgo energy in reverse. And this just says that ultimately you have to be devoted to living a life of wellness in order to be loved in a healthy relationship. To have a healthy relationship, your relationship with yourself must be healthy. So this says cut off the self-sabotage, man. Self-deprecating behavior will diminish your energy and then shrink your potential. And if that's the case, why wouldn't you live in fear? Make it make sense, y'all. We all go through this. So I'm not trying to dog anybody, by the way, but I will just say that if you are indulging in self-deprecating behavior, this is your sign to stop the self-harm or the addictions or the self-destructive tendencies. And addiction is caused by suffering. So let this be another sign to give yourself compassion if that is you. So you can really pull the roots out and heal. That's what that's about. And Virgo energy is beautiful. Baby's a Virgo, and I'm a Virgo rising, so that's probably why we get along so well. But you know, Virgo is a sign of self-improvement and fixing ourselves. So what I'm getting with the Virgo in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, is to overcome denial. Don't lie to yourself, man. That is the worst skill to get good at, is lying to yourself, reframing reality to meet your desired perception, aka living a life of delusion. Let's not do that, okay? So what I also get from the third card, the Seven of Wands in reverse, is surrender. In order to be loved and to love, we have to be willing to surrender, to not hold covert contracts or desires to control and manipulate. We have to be willing to let others be themselves. If you want to be in a relationship where you're allowed to be yourself, you have to let it go both ways, guys. And I have cards in the top and bottom of the deck, so I will just say these, because this is like basically the ones I got. We got the Queen of Wands on the bottom. We got the Seven of Cups upright on the top. And the Seven of Cups reflects options, maybe even indecision sometimes, but more neutrally options. And the Queen of Wands is the figure that represents exemplary will and unconditional love. She doesn't need anybody. She's self-sufficient. She's got it covered. She loves love and she's love incarnate. So don't forget, there's a King of Wands, truly. But this says that you have to take the biggest risk off the table. You have to fully commit to yourself, guys. You have to leave the bullshit alone. You have to remove distractions from your life. And only you will know what those are based on your value system, okay? And that's really real. And I thought I was gonna stop, guys, but top and bottom again. And these are the same card. The Three of Pentacles in reverse is the Three of Swords upright, you know. And if you really look at the air and the earth triangle, that's how it goes. But I'm taking from this, guys, on the healing conversation, don't distract yourself from your pain. Feel your pain. The only way to release your pain is to feel it. Nowhere in the universe feels like earth, guys. It's just not, it's not easy, I will say. But it's a lot harder to suppress your emotions and numb yourself and let them build up and build up and build up, guys. Like if you just sweep everything under the rug, there will come a time when somebody trips over that rug and gets fucking hurt. And then you would have just wished you would have cleaned it up late or earlier. Or if you just have skeletons in your closet, man, and you pile things in boxes, there will reach a time when you open that thing and everything just comes crawling and crashing out. So no denial, guys. Self-love is the best drug, and we must have a desire to heal that's stronger than our desire to escape, or else we're going to go nowhere. Okay? I just yapped a lot, but what you thinking? I'm going to pull the other cards too, see what we're given.
Yeah, I was thinking, with the,
Because it was it was Justice, Hermit in reverse,
Yeah.
and then the Seven of
so I was
Wands
feeling
in
like
reverse.
the self-criticism and maybe shame, doubt, all that need to be acknowledged, felt, worked through, so we can love ourselves deeper.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely concur. And it's not the easiest work on that note. Like that shit is, it's grueling as fuck.
Yeah.
Sometimes it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
I feel
does.
like it's a responsibility to do that, though. It's not easy.
I'm gonna pull 3 questions and then I'm gonna give you the deck and have you pull 3 questions. Damn, these are rough. Or they're deep. These are deep questions. Here you go, baby. So let's jump into the Q&A, guys. We have a lot of cool questions, and let me see if I can check the time as I'm doing this. Yeah, we got about 10, 20 minutes left. We want to keep this on a good schedule, make it short, sweet, to the point, and also deep. So what I'm thinking is we'll do 9 questions, okay? And we'll see how that goes. So this is for you, baby. Who do you go to for advice? It's a very simple question, but it can be, you know, complex or a simple answer.
That is a good one. I feel like I'm super fortunate enough to have awesome people around me.
Mhm.
So for advice, number one, I feel like I check with myself.
That's good. I like that.
Really spend some time with myself. I pray about it. But otherwise, yeah, I have you. You're awesome.
Thanks,
I
baby.
love hearing what you have to say.
I love your advice too, baby.
I appreciate you.
Thanks, queen.
And my sister and my other sister.
It's beautiful. Yeah, family's good. You got a good family, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that so much. That's basically, that was a good answer, honey. And if I had to add mine, I would just say, I'm grateful I have you for advice. I'm grateful that my higher self gives me decent directions, that I've been led positively by that, and grateful to have good friends, good leaders around me, a good team. I really like to check with them when I need advice. Check with teachers. Which ones you got, baby? Yeah,
Oh, I didn't,
I was gonna say that feels like that was good. Just, and whichever one you get, just ask me, and then we'll go back and forth up to 9 is what that feels like. We're trying a new style of questions, so this is fun, and I hope you guys enjoy this.
these are all so like, okay. I was gonna say these are all so different, like variations of.
Yeah, and you don't have to take the ones you pull if you don't resonate with it.
What do you think is, oh, this turned off, is it okay?
There you go. Yeah, it's back on. I'm glad you saw that. We would have done the last part muted.
feel like I'm being picky now. Okay. Name a wish that has come true for you.
Oh, that's good. I like that one. And this is something that I often take for granted. I try as much not to. And being fully self-employed, that's one thing that I wanted for years and years and years. So there are times that I'm pushing so far towards my next goals that I forget that I wanted this shit so bad. But it's beautiful to have that. And also, I mean, it's funny, all this shit seems to circle back. We're two for two, but this relationship, oh my God, I'm so grateful to have a partner like you, baby. I remember just praying for it so many times and all the stress I've gone through, all the challenges, it's so good to have your love and support. So that would be that would be on the list. I could probably go on and on for days. We'd be manifesting our asses off too. Community, good people, monetization on YouTube. It's just great to keep winning. We're gonna keep on winning. So that's my answer. What about you, baby?
I forgot the question already. What has come true? Name
Yeah.
a wish that has come true.
Something you wished for.
Um, yeah, maybe same. The relationship. I feel like I always tell you, like, thanks for being so real, because that's all I want.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, that's some real Venus Saturn energy. It's
Truth and love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love has to be
That's
real or
it.
that's not love. That's some other
Yes.
shit. That makes me happy. That's the right answer. All right, so baby, have you ever stopped being friends with someone because of their political views?
I was just thinking about this because I did stop talking to someone because of this is a political view, right? Like if they're like not LGBTQ
I would
A
consider that.
plus,
Yeah, absolutely.
like
Because
supportive
my mind kind of went
allies.
to that paradigm as well.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm not very much a political person. I'm not bipartisan by any stretch of the imagination. I I've even tried to avoid politics in my life on some level, but I think politics it really is more about your mentality, your beliefs, your convictions, things like that too. So
Yeah.
what came to my mind was racism. There's been people that I've had to distance myself from because of racism, or like you said, if they're not an ally, I definitely felt that too. So absolutely. And I mean, like, I think that goes back to the conversation earlier about similar values. There's no problem if you have to distance yourself because you just can't agree to disagree. Or, I mean, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like the thought was out there. I might have had more eloquent words to use, but yeah, I think you guys get the picture. Yeah. So those are the main ones, like not not being an ally.
That's what came to mind just because
Yeah.
that recently did happen to
Mm.
me. I like met someone and we were vibing so hard on everything. We were like talking about we
Mhm.
wanted to start a business about like maybe like health coaching, lifestyle,
Yeah.
something
Mhm.
or another. And it was like our first meeting out about it, like business meeting, and like something triggered her when we were out, and that's what ended up happening. And I was like, oh, I can't
Yeah, that's
spend
not
another minute with you actually. So I
That's
gotta go.
understandable. I respect it, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. What questions you got?
Um, what do you imagine your life will be like 10 years from now?
Ooh, I like that one. That's good. It's gonna be baller. Because I'm gonna be 35. I'll have the option to retire way before then. Like, I'll be rich as fuck, fit as fuck, millions of followers. I'll be even more happy. We might have babies. We'll see. Happy cat. I'm be happy dad regardless because of the cat, and the plants and stuff. But we're gonna be traveling the world, super nice cars, touching millions of lives, multiple millions of people worldwide, traveling all over the place, and just infinite abundance and security. It's gonna be the best in 10 years. And knowing that my legacy is immortalized. That's my 10-year vision. What about you, baby? What are you thinking about in the 10 years?
I'm thinking about everything we're manifesting right now
Mhm.
come into fruition.
Yeah, we've been really setting goals, vision boards, all that. It's been nice. Yeah. And I feel like, we share a similar vision. So we can just move to the next one, I think. So this one is, I mean, and you don't have to go as deep. I know you're so raw, baby. So you can go as deep into this as you want, or, as surface as you want. But do you wish your relationship was different with your parents? And if so, what ways?
Do I wish? Um, Not necessarily anymore. Yeah, it is
Felt that.
has kind of like morphed and
Yeah, I felt both answers,
yeah,
like yes and no.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Not necessarily anymore. Yeah, not really.
And why is that, baby?
Um, I feel at peace and that's why I wouldn't change anything. I
Yeah.
feel like I have gone through a lot of I don't know what to call it, like
Trauma is one thing I could say.
well, trauma and resentment. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, anger,
Towards
bitterness.
like my dad specifically, yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to give context without being too deep. Me and Sophie and I come from pretty dysfunctional families, and there's been a lot of work in that regard, and that's been part of the healing. And it's so crazy because it's not just personal; it's collective with the family healing. And you know, at this point, we don't have both of our parents in our lives. So I can relate as well. Not having the love there, the support, and then breeding resentment and bitterness and anger and wishing that things could be different, wishing you could control this person or wishing that they would just love or act fucking right,
Right.
and then just that never happening and then having to evolve your damn self and then
Yeah.
grow and find peace. So I'm so proud of you, baby, for the strength that you have. And
Thanks. Too.
like
It's
I look up to this woman, guys, because she has so much strength. It's amazing, truly so amazing to see how much love she has after everything she's been through. Like they don't make them like her, man, because she made her like her. People have gone through similar things or less and just turned truly cruel and bitter and just stayed that way. And she has this will to love and give and beyond survive, thrive. And it means the world to me. I'm so lucky to see this. So I like your answer, baby. Not anymore. And that's growth. That's something to be proud of. That's really amazing. That's super cool.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
of course. I'm gonna pull a couple more cards, baby, and you can
Okay.
ask yours. Because I think this is gonna be number 6. And I was also thinking, let's go for 8 instead of 9. Let's do a nice round number. And that means you'll do number 6 that you have right here, and then we'll probably just pull another one intuitively. And I'm gonna let you end off with the next question following this one, okay? I like this one. Okay, cool. Yeah, you let me know, baby.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn,
Who
sweetheart.
is the happiest person you know and why?
I think my friend Debbie. Yeah, DG, the citrine queen, Deb the healing witch, girl. Your Taurus ass, I love you. Deb is a miracle. Out of all the people, and I'm a Saturn Taurus, and this is a Taurus sun. So out of all the people I know, this person lights me up the best. And they've seen me at my worst and still brought a smile to my face. And they've gone through so many trials and tribulations, but they still have the spirit of joy and the spirit of laughter. And, sometimes adversity is really where your attributes shine or are measured. So beyond her overcoming in her life, in that part of her story, I just feel like just a bundle of joy. I'm lucky to have a friend like Debbie personally. And this is, because not everybody knows Debbie because she's in my personal life. I want to say this one dude comes to my mind. His name is I'm like, I know his Stavros. I was like, it's a Greek name, so it's almost slipping my head. Is a stand-up comedian, Stavros Halkias. He has a laugh that makes me laugh. So I admire his joy and the happiness that he has inside of him. What do you think, baby? Who's the happiest person that you know?
I would say my mom.
Your mom, and she was a Taurus too.
Oh yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, something about the Taurus, man, they just love living.
Yeah.
They just like to be happy. It's beautiful. Yeah, your mom is amazing. And that's where she gets all her amazingness from too. So this question's for you, baby. What is your favorite holiday and why?
Favorite holiday and why? I feel like it's always been like in the fall,
Yeah.
Halloween
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. No, that's right. Why do you like Halloween so much? Is it because you're a witch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we grew up on like the horror film.
Yeah.
I love the fall. My birthday's not. I
You're
feel
like
my
late.
birthday's kind of
You're late summer. So yeah, it's like,
yeah.
yeah, baby.
Like I kick it off.
Mhm. I love that for you. Yeah, that's good. It's funny we have the same answer because Halloween is like the best holiday in the world. Samhain. If you're a witch, it kind of is the obligatory answer, but also like who doesn't like the crispiness of the fall air and the leaves and the energy of death? Oh yes. And it's never really that serious from like the outside looking in, but if you really look at what the planet's doing in fall, at least in the northern hemisphere, especially in the northwest in the fall, or I'm sorry, Samhain time for us, it's going to be the fall time. So that just means that while everything is shedding and going through the rebirth phase, spiritually we are, lightening our load, and the spirit of Magick is heavy around Samhain. So that's really something that I love to see. And I love that you said that. So this will be the final one. So just, trust your gut, whatever the card is, that will be what it is. And then we'll play it off, Keyboard Cat. What you guys know about Keyboard Cat? That's a question. Let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, that's the one.
Do you want to pick out of these two, or should I pick for you?
Left is what I'm hearing. But also, guys, I want to send a reminder really quick before we wrap this up. Join Simplified Magick now because it's on pre-order. While we're in between moon phases, you're going to want to get on the list to get the entry at a discount. And while we are letting the work go through the higher Kabbalistic spheres and descend into Malkuth, you're also going to want to join Simplified Tarot and Astrology if you haven't yet, because those are also half off. So do yourself a favor, grab this knowledge, change your life, and you will thank yourself later. So I was just called to say left, whatever one it is.
Okay.
Here you go, baby.
So it's, do you have multiple friend groups? How are they the same? How are they different?
That's a good question. Do I have multiple friend groups? How are they the same and how are they different? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's normal to have that. And I find what's funny is that the more I advance personally in my life, it seems like my friend group is consolidating basically. And I've moved around a lot in my life. I've had a very interesting story. So, just based on me moving a lot, I might have had friends from this city, this city, this city, this town, or had this job and meet people at this job and this place of employment. So, you make acquaintances, and I think there's a difference between acquaintances and friends, but because I'm gonna toot my own horn, so loving and giving and compassionate, I need that reciprocity, like we talked about. I need people to pour into me as much as I'm gonna pour into them. And sometimes, that's not the case. It's not to say that everything's tit for tat and you got to always keep score, but I just find that if people can't support my vision or see it, have similar values and at least some of the same interests, we don't have anything to do together, and we might interrupt each other or waste each other's time. So, the more, and to answer the question, the more and more I advance in my life, the more I find myself becoming more secluded and closed off. The more I pour into myself, real Venus sun energy, the higher my value goes. And things are only valuable in this life because they're worth something. And you'll find that the most expensive and valuable things in this life are that way because they're hard to get, like a chiseled body or a happy, stable home life, a peaceful family, things like that, the intrusive thoughts we're hitting. So we'll talk about that later. And I just find that, the more that I value my purpose, the more I need people that are really down for the act and ready to commit to the bit. And that's as far as it goes. So it kind of feels like, while I'm acquainted with many people, I have a very small, tight-knit circle of friends. And I don't consider everybody my friend, even though I'm a very friendly person. And I've even had to like kind of catch myself sometimes because I like to charm as a Libra moon and be nice and polite. And I find that sometimes, you know, when you say my friend to somebody too much and you don't really see them there, they can get confused and hurt too. So, you know, that's maybe not part of the question, but that's just kind of what my heart wants to say is that no, I don't really have multiple circles of friends. Like I think about my gym and the places I go and the people I know, and it's like while I have acquaintances there and I'm happy with them and I wouldn't consider them enemies by any stretch of the imagination, it's like if I can't break bread with somebody, if I can't make money, if I can't discuss purpose and see them working with me, I wouldn't consider them friends. You know, I've had really good conversations with people at the gym or at work, for example, but if they're not with me, I don't think that's a friend personally. So that's my answer, baby. What do you think? Do you have multiple groups of friends? And if so, like how does that play out?
I relate in the way you're talking about pouring into yourself more,
Mhm.
and in doing that, I feel like a lot of like the circles I did keep close, I kind of like placed them on like an outer circle of mine,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
isn't
it makes sense.
like you said, they're not enemies. It's just,
Yeah,
and
it's
I
not a
still
negative
value
thing.
them
Right. Yeah.
and think about them and send them love.
Mhm.
So
I think the word that comes to my mind is priorities, you know,
yeah,
and again, values. You know, your values run parallel to your priorities because you only indulge with the things that you value. So you think of them prior by definition. So it just comes down to the conduct we keep. And you are the sum of the people you spend the most time with. So you just got to ask yourself when it comes to choosing your friends and choose them wisely, by the way. Do you want to be like the people that you consider your friends? And if the answer is no, you might not need to be friends with them. And I know that most of us can wrap our heads around this, but I want to dive this nail into the coffin, man. If you wouldn't be proud of your children to turn out like your friends, you need new friends. If you wouldn't be proud of your children to turn out like yourself, you need to change. That's as far as it goes, guys. So this was a cool Venus Day Q&A. I hope you guys loved it as much as I love my woman, as much as we love each other. Wishing you health, wealth, love, and abundance. May you manifest all you desire in this lifetime and enjoy it to the fullest. Blessed be, blessed we.